Welcome back on Sherdog, Julia. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm fine as well. Thanks for asking. I noticed that you're in your car. Where are you going, or where are you coming from?
We're just coming from a neurology appointment, so
Oh,
running around and doing interviews.
okay. Thank you for giving us a little bit of your time. How was it yours, the appointment, the neurologist?
No, it's for Lance Gibson Jr., who's fighting for Bellator next Friday night. So, yeah, we've had a lot of just running around for medicals and getting everything finished so we can get to our fights.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I heard that the fighters' schedule in general is pretty busy, even ahead of fight week. I would like to ask you the motivation ahead of the upcoming PFL 2023 regular season, considering that 2022 hasn't been quite your year, if I may.
Yeah, the motivation for me for this year, well, I'm really excited that it's at featherweight. It's at 145. I feel like 155 wasn't my weight class. I was walking around underweight for that weight class. And that first fight last season, with my opponent missing weight by like a huge amount and that size difference, really feeling that in there, that first fight, I learned a lot from that. And then, um, yeah, and then my last fight of the year in November, fighting in Madison Square Garden, I lost the split decision, but I felt like I did enough in that fight to win. But at the same time, I felt grateful that I got in there. I got the opportunity to get in there one more time last year and showcase some new stuff. And then I just started this year super motivated. And knowing that I was going to be a part of this season for PFL changed a lot of things, and used those two losses as a motivation to do better this year and really showcase the complete mixed martial artist that I am.
Yeah, you mentioned that first fight you had in 2022. On that occasion, your opponent missed weight by almost 6 pounds. So yeah, it was definitely something. What made you accept the fight at the time? You were, of course, I guess you are willing to fight, but you didn't want your match to fall off the card, or what was it?
Well, it's like it was kind of a crazy week. We were thinking about it. We weren't 100% clear on the rules of the season, not knowing that you could have not fought and got your 3 points and continued on to the next one. So just learning about that after the fact, but at the same time, I wanted to get in there. Like I was like, oh, I was really excited about getting in there. I wasn't that concerned about the size difference, obviously, and I just wanted to get in there and fight. And it's like I felt like I wanted to seize that opportunity, and I learned a lot again. And but at the same time, it is what it is. You gotta just keep on going and keep on growing and getting better. And yeah, so I was obviously looking back on it, I don't regret anything.
And what about your fight with Aspen Ladd? Was there anything that didn't go according to plans on that occasion, or do you feel like that the split decision is just to the judges? It's just in the judges' eyes, which sometimes I heard very different tales from the fighters about the scoring system and the judges in general.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I felt like it was my fight. I felt like I won the second and the third round, but at the same time, I realized I left the fight too close to call. So if judges can see it and give it to somebody else, then that's just too close of a fight. So I use that as motivation, especially going into this training camp, doing enough, way more, so nobody could steal a decision from me ever again if I feel that way, but also realizing there's more for me to do in those rounds. So I felt like I showed a lot. Like that first round was tough. She was on my back for most of that first round, fighting through that, coming back in the second and a third, but still I got to do more. So I just use that as motivation and to get better condition. Yeah, adding more to my tool belt, so to speak. So that never happens again.
Right now, you're scheduled to take on Larissa Pacheco on April 7th. Pacheco won the 2022 PFL Championship after defeating Kayla Harrison in the finals. I guess at this point in your career, training camps are just routine, or is it anything that you changed in your training camps after, you know, your first experience with the PFL in 2021 and in 2022?
Yeah, no, I changed a lot. We basically so obviously my main coach is my husband. Gibson Jr., they're my main coaching staff. And as things are getting more serious for Lance Jr.'s career as well, like Bellator, his fights are getting more serious. We realized we needed to get some help, obviously. And so we came down to Arizona in January. I've spent 8 weeks down at Fight Ready in Arizona, training, getting ready, and working my butt off. So yeah, super motivated after last year, but we changed a lot, and I plan on showing all the hard work that we put in.
What do you think about Pacheco? And were you expecting her victory over Harrison last year?
I wasn't expecting that, but I also knew it wasn't going to be easy. Like it was going to be, they've spent so much time in the cage together. They knew each other. I was impressed actually, like after rewatching it, I thought Kayla was winning all the stand-up exchanges, which surprised me, and Larissa won the grappling exchanges with her jiu-jitsu. So I was kind of like, as I watched that fight now, like, you know, a dozen times, I'm like, oh wow, like I saw different areas of it that kind of shocked me. But I know, like, I was expecting this fight, our records, it makes the most sense for this season to be the first fight to fight each other right away. And, you know, yeah, I'm excited about it.
Last year, you were scheduled to face Harrison in July, and unfortunately, you injured yourself a few days ahead of that fight. Do you regret that you didn't have the chance to face Harrison?
Yeah, I mean, I hopefully that's a fight that happens in the future. But yeah, that fight, it was a real bummer because I was training really, like training camp was going really well, but yeah, just things happen. It didn't happen last year, but I think it will still happen. And I always want to test myself against top competition. There's no easy fights for me. You know, I started out my career fighting the best, and that's something I pride myself in, is that it's yeah, like as soon as they called for Larissa too, right away, I'm like, yeah, we expected it. You know, we were literally like talking about it the week before over, and we're like, I bet you that's my first fight, and already kind of game planning for it. And so that's something that's been really motivating for me as well, is fighting her right off the bat and planning on making a statement.
And if the Kayla fight happens eventually, would you like it to happen at lightweight or a featherweight?
Featherweight for sure. This is my weight class. Like I walk around at 155. You know what I mean? So it's
Okay.
it's 155 is not my ideal weight class.
Yeah, and I mean, I guessed your answer, but still, I had to ask you nevertheless. So, so thank you. So ahead of your upcoming fight on April 7th, do you have any last messages?
Yeah, just thank you to everyone that helped me prepare for this. Yeah, I'm just grateful for so much growth and everybody that helped me prepare.
Julia, thank you very much. Best of luck with the upcoming fight. Hopefully, I will hear again from you in the future. And if you have the chance, of course, please say hello to Lance Gibson Jr. on my behalf. I interviewed him a few months ago. I believe it was ahead of one of his fights in Bellator. And fingers crossed. Hey.
There he is. He
hi,
says hi.
Lance.
Yeah, how's it going?
He interviewed you before. He's about to start his interviews. So
Okay. Thank you again. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
thank you. Okay, bye.